Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favourite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. Are you feeling on wobbly footing with all the uncertainty that's surrounding society at the moment? Is something that's not to be ignored, because as we know, our unconscious thoughts and feelings are always driving our behaviour. So if our inner voice is one of stress, panic, uncertainty, that is going to have an effect on our work one way or the other. It'll also have an effect on our relationships and our health long term. So here in the UK, the death of our Queen, regardless of what you thought of her, even though she was the grand old age of 96, sent shockwaves. She has been a constant in our lives, something that was just always there. Yeah, and with her passing comes a new king, and at this point, nobody knows what that could mean long term. And I'm sure he doesn't even know yet. It's all too easy to get set into the what ifs. And as story making and meaning making machines, our brains will be going into overdrive, creating stories right now if left unchecked. So naturally, as humans, we're really not wired to love change and uncertainty, to put it mildly. We're wired to avoid new, to repeat familiar. So the collective energy is feeling pretty heavy. We've had the pandemic, followed by a huge amount of political turmoil. We've got the cost of living crisis, talk of recession and soaring bills, and now the loss of the Queen and a new king. It's totally natural if you feel wobbly and discombobulated. So what do we do to try and find some firm footing when we feel very much on shaky ground? You won't be surprised by some of the things that I say here, because I've always been banging the same drum. Because after 8 years of intensive study, multiple qualifications in multiple trauma-informed modalities, and working directly with people, I know what works. And if I ever feel on wobbly ground, which I do because I'm human and life happens, these are my go-tos. I practice what I preach. So what do we do first? Notice how you feel and focus on that. Don't get dragged into other people's shoulds. As a society, it's become all too easy and prevalent to project our opinion onto others, vocally and publicly. People love to tell you what they think and how you should think and how you should feel. They project their stuff onto you. They blanket generalize that if they think something, that must be how everyone thinks, or you're a bad human. And it's rubbish. We are such nuanced individuals. Yes, we need to be able to critically analyze our own thoughts, feelings and beliefs. That is hugely important. Always be open to learning and the ability to change your mind. But you have to deal in truth with yourself about what you believe. So what are your thoughts at the moment? What's coming up for you? What are the stories that are there? How influenced are you being by the loudest opinions? And how does that feel in your body? What do you think, believe and feel? Is it yours or something you've picked up from someone else? Figure out the stories around the uncertainty. What are you telling yourself is going to happen? And what could you do now to make sure it doesn't? I did a practical episode last week because so often we overlook the practical in the mindset because we're caught up in our thoughts and feelings. We overlook the ways that we have control over our experience, which leads me nicely onto what I do next. Ask, what do you have control over? This is so huge and so easily overlooked. I think is there anything practical that you can actually do right now to change the way you're thinking, feeling, or shift the stories that you're actually telling yourself? What action can you take or could you take? And allow yourself to think outside the box here. Instead of catastrophizing, focus on the short term and be in the present. There simply are a lot of unknowns at the moment, and we're all in that boat. So practicing mindfulness is a really great way to do this, because while you practice that, you are literally training your brain to be in the present moment. You're wiring it in. With that neural pathway, naturally comes less catastrophizing and what-ifing. The ability to be present allows you to be in your prefrontal cortex too. Conscious, rational. We like that. I know I bang this drum a lot, but you simply have to look after yourself as a priority. Your internal world is the one that you're in the vast majority of the time, waking and at night. And if you're not looking after that and your physical world, it causes problems elsewhere. Making sure that you're in the best possible place you can is never, ever, ever going to not be helpful. Look after your brain, look after your body, look after your nervous system. Because the better place you're in, the better you can show up for others too. So don't underestimate how much of an impact you not firing on all cylinders can create. Actually supporting yourself in the best way you can. Nourishing food, plenty of water, regular exercise. The basics that such a huge percentage of the population ignores. Next, we want to learn to tolerate discomfort. And this again is something you can train yourself to do. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're always going to feel that sense of discomfort when you're trying to do anything outside of your familiar patterns. So learn to send the cues of safety in your body. Breathe. EFT, emotional freedom technique, heart math, movement, the usual things that soothe and calm an aroused nervous system. Next up, seek joy. Goodness me, I feel like this has fallen to the wayside in the last few years for a lot of people. I think people are feeling stuck doing the things that they aren't loving, or not doing the things they do love because of stories around sunk cost fallacy and time pressure. It's time we make time for the things that bring us joy. Do you want to go grab your colouring pencils, grab some paints, get out on the water, go wild swimming? There's so many things that are free that can bring us joy. Go to the playground. I don't know. Just have a think. Like, where can you find that childlike joy that's just going to make you smile and make you happy? Spend more time doing that joy and novelty. It's very good for the brain. Next one, let go of hustle culture and tune into what is really most important to you. Like, really most important to you. Not other people, not other people's stuff, you. And take time offline. I was really happy to see how many people actually took a proper break over the summer. I do feel though like people have come back with a I'm refreshed and raring to go attitude, which is great, but not if that's the very thing that caused you to need such a big break in the first place. It's just going back for more of the same. So if you're coming back after a break, what can you do that's different? How can you nourish your soul at the same time? Thank you, Milo. At the same time as, doing what you need to do. And how can we allow ourselves to embrace a little bit of a slower pace, if that is what we really want? I know it's certainly my way of life, without feeling the pressure of random judgment from random people. Let it go. Next, don't bottle up your feelings. You'd be hard pushed to find anybody who hasn't had the slightest wobble or struggle over the last few years. So please know that you're absolutely not alone. The more we normalize talking about this, the easier life gets. The certainty of worry can be addictive. It's familiar, predictable, rehearsed and repeated. And your brain actually releases dopamine through certainty. So that means you are literally getting rewarded for worrying, because that worry is giving your brain an element of certainty. even though nothing about it is certain at all. Yeah? So bear that in mind. And in terms of feeling better in yourself and managing what life has to throw at you, it often comes back to the simplest of things that are the easiest to ignore. Regulating your emotions, looking after your nervous system, challenging the automatic thoughts and stories, using the cognitive and the somatic tools and techniques, brain and body. It's not rocket science. It just goes against most of our natural automatic programming. So it feels harder until it's habitual. That's how habits work. They take more energy before they can serve them. So if you've been feeling a little on the wobbly side, please don't beat yourself up. It has been a crazy roller coaster of a few years. So focus on what's within your control right now. Be honest about what you really want and let go of self-judgment. Focus on the present moment and look after yourself. And don't future trip on worst case scenarios. You find solid ground by creating it within yourself. Wobbles and uncertainty are a natural part of life, and you are doing great. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then join the Positive Pants Toolkit app and community so you can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to join the toolkit or book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as